Welcome back. I'm Paul, and today is Sunday, so it's time to go through the 12-pound barrel, see how things are looking in there. All right. We got our Brazilian agate and some amethyst and our big piece of petrified wood. I see another piece of petrified wood in there. I'm thinking the Brazilian agate's going to come out this week because it's not turning into anything very cool. And I think we're just going to cut it because all the ones that we cut had some really cool stuff inside. So that's probably going to come out this week. Oh yeah, we had new petrified wood that we put in last week. So I'm curious to see how that turned out in 1 week of rolling, how it looks. All right, some more amethyst, a couple pieces of petrified wood I see, and some rose quartz. We're getting some pretty good colors in this barrel here lately. I like that. I don't like it when it's all the same thing and kind of boring. Petrified wood is looking really nice. All right, I'll take a look at that stuff and see what's ready to move on, and we'll look at the stuff we're taking out and whatever we use to put back in the barrel. All right, so we've got a pretty good amount of stuff we're pulling out. I am going to pull out this Brazilian agate, and I think we're just going to cut it. We've got this piece of banded iron formation. It's red jasper and I believe hematite. You can see the hematite is the gray there, and then there's a band of it running through there. So we're pulling that out. We've got a piece of mookaite jasper that's coming out. We've got one piece of rose quartz that's ready to go. This is some miscellaneous thing. I don't know what it is. Our one little small piece of petrified wood here. I'm going to call it good. It's looking really nice. And another piece of mookaite and some picture jasper, and that's about it. Nothing super exciting, but some of the stuff we've been working on for a while. So we're going to look at some of these. This is one of our big pieces of petrified wood that we just put in kind of recently, and it's starting to look really nice. Those things got such cool colors and stuff in it. I'm going to have to determine how close I want to get this to perfect. I don't think it's going to get perfect by any means, but I want to roll it a little bit more. And then this one here is looking really good too. I really like this piece. It's got some cool look to it. The bottom side of this is pretty bumpy yet, you might say, or jagged, but I don't think we're going to get that all the way gone. I've been trying to kind of not live with flaws, but not tumble it so long to make it perfect, because we'll have bigger pieces that way, and they still look really nice when they're polished, so I still have to work on that a little bit. We've got our big piece of rainbow petrified wood, and it's coming along nicely. I found that when they have a crack in it like this, you can see that crack, as it wears that down, obviously we'd have to tumble it a long time to get rid of that, and it keeps chipping up the edge as it gets thinner and thinner. So it's one of those things where you either got to get it totally gone and it'll be small when you're done, or you just have to live with that stuff. So like you can see right here how it got thin and it was getting it wore off, and then it broke the thin stuff off in the barrel. So I got to try to decide where I call it quits with some of those and pull them out of the barrel, but I still think that I can get this one looking a little nicer. It may end up going on the grinder a little bit even and speed the process up, but we're not going to have time for that today. So we've got this piece of white quartz that my mother found, wanted me to tumble, and it looks really nice except for this spot right there. I mean, I want it rolled off a little bit nicer, but get that one little dark spot out of it, and the rest of it is just really nice and pure white. I think it will look pretty cool when it's all done. And then this is something we threw in last week. It's something out of my landscaping. And I don't know what it is, but it's got a lot of lines and bands in it. And it didn't ground down too fast, so I think it must be fairly hard. I've thrown some other stuff in there that I didn't know what they were, and they just ground down really fast in 1 week, so I knew they were really soft. But this one seems to be about the right hardness for the rest of the stuff in the barrel. We've got a couple pieces of our petrified wood that we threw in last week, and I really like this piece. This entire piece that I cut up has got really cool lines and bands in it throughout the whole thing, so I think that all the pieces of that one are going to look really nice when they're done. And then this is another piece off of another petrified wood that we cut up, and that's the side that has the bark on it, and then the inside of the wood has a gray look on this piece, which is something different. So that piece is looking pretty nice. And then I've got a few pieces of our amethyst here, and I'm hoping next week I have some more time, because I've got a lot of this amethyst that looks really nice, but then it's got whatever the material was on the top and the bottom of some of them. It's going to take me a long time to roll that off of there, so I might just throw it in the saw and just nip the top of that off, and that'll speed our process, and that way the whole thing will be just amethyst, because I've got a lot of them. Like this one's got just that little spot, and you can see the specks in it where it's dirty, whatever that white material is. So I might throw some of this in the saw. This has got it too, whatever that brown stuff is on the top, because if I could just nip that off the top, the rest of it looks really nice and it's pretty well ready to move on. So I think next week we're going to end up putting some of that on the saw to speed our process up. But a lot of it is looking really good. So I think this week we are just going to use the petrified wood that we cut up and use that as filler and get some more of the petrified wood rolling. I took quite a bit out actually with a couple of larger rocks, so we got quite a bit of room. I think that should do it. And we've got our 14 tablespoons of our 4670 silicon carbide grit. And we're ready to button that back up, and we'll get it on the tumbler for another week. Thanks for watching.